Hey guys, Brian and Ryan back here at Ground Control, still working our what-if scenarios from our full guard attack. So now we're going to move on to the Kimura. And there's a couple of different things that people might do to prevent the Kimura from being finished once we get into the position. So we're going to start in the position of the Kimura. So I go for my prayer position, come over top, establish my grip, and now the person hides their arm underneath their thigh. So almost like they're grabbing down towards their hamstring. And this can be very difficult to pull. If I try to go straight out, the person can be very strong and establish a really strong position from here. So we're gonna work around it instead. I'm gonna take my outside leg and it's gonna be planted nice and tight towards the floor. And now what I'm gonna look to do is I'm gonna look to lift my hips almost like I'm trying to flip Brian all the way over top. Now, he's not gonna get there. He's gonna have too good of control of his base. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna bridge onto our shoulder on the same side that we're attacking the Kimura. Looking down at the mat. Me looking at the mat allows my hips to really drive up into him. From here, my leg is gonna slightly drop on his leg, and I'm gonna leg press, almost like an extension of my leg. At the same time, I'm gonna activate my hips, almost like a bridging motion. And from here, it should pop the arm out from the connection point. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna still finish the same way that we did before. The problem is we don't have nearly the space to work our hips through. So we have to go really sharp with our rotation. I don't wanna fall straight down towards my back. I'm gonna continue to lift my hips, and now I do a sharp rotation in order to get to the Kimura finish position. From here, it's the same finish, tucking the wrist towards the inside, having a nice acute angle, and lifting my far shoulder as I try to push his hand towards the back of his head. We'll go one more time with this. So we go to our prayer position, sitting up, the guy hides, okay? Now, I plant my foot onto the other side. I'm gonna go with the intention of flipping him over top, looking at the mat. From here, I'm gonna extend as my leg drops. So my leg extends as my hips work in at the same time to break that connection. Now, I need to do a hip rotation. In this case, my right hip, the hip closest towards the side that we're attacking, is bladed down towards the mat, not on the mat. If you look right here, there's space underneath. That's gonna be my room to rotate my hips through. So as we come back through, my hips come in and we hit hard towards the other side. Now I'm gonna hug his triceps tight, make sure I have a nice acute angle, and now it's gonna be my body lifting my shoulder and trying to push his hand towards the back of his head. So that's how we work from the Kimura when the person hides the hand.